Welcome to another episode of Kuwa Tofauti, where we hang out with the youth talking about different issues. Now, this month of April, imekuwa moto moto. We started out with ladies saying what they want in relationships. Then we hang out with dudes, what they want in relationships. Then today, I'm hanging out with people as we talk about being now in a relationship. So today we're just talking about the dating zone. And I have guys here. They're not necessarily so I don't make them feel pressure at you, you're experts of experts, but I'm assuming you're the experts as we talk about the dating zone. So we'll start with an introduction from my left.
Hi everybody, my name is Steve Minor. I'm a journalist and I'm glad to be here.
Karibu.
Sante.
Hi, my name is Joanne. I'm a management consultant and I'm excited to be here.
Good stuff.
Hi everyone, my name is Hope B. I'm an accountant. I'm excited to be here.
All right.
Hi everybody, my name is Joshua. I'm a graphic designer. Very happy to be here.
Okay. Since guys are very happy to be here,
Yeah.
I hope you're also very happy to open and contribute and give your pointers and etc. So I'll just start. In your view, what is dating? When you hear the word dating, what is dating? Anyone?
I suggest we start with the ladies first. We have more content on the same.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with Joanne.
What's dating?
Yeah.
So dating is that period where you go through meeting people and trying to figure out if they're compatible, if you like them, who works, who doesn't work. And then from there, I think you pick the one you like, that one human from the many humans. The many humans that you've met, that one human.
Okay.
So that process of going out on dates, having coffee, whatever, dinner, lunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me hear from a guy.
Well, for me, dating, I guess, is that, again, quite similar to whatever she says. Maybe you look around, see who interests you, you talk with them, hang out with them, get to know them a little better. Then from there, that's when, again, as she said, you pick that one particular person, and then you take it to the next level and proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a specific age to date, to start dating, in your view? I mean, you can just start.
Yes.
Zile za class 8. Steve?
I will say that there's no specific age. We shouldn't quantify the amount of time somebody needs to start dating or whenever you are ready to date. For me, I'll go for when you feel that you are ready. That doesn't mean you can start dating at 12 or at 8.
Yeah, at this
Yes.
age,
Yes, I know that concern can arise, but at 12 you have other issues to manage, like high school and education and other stuff.
Yeah.
But after 18, when you are legally responsible for your actions, then you can start dating. Okay. So there's not that specific age because that might create a competition. You are starting to date at 50, somebody's at 20, then where do you draw the line? So there's no specific age.
Yeah. Hope, what do you think?
I guess also because if you say that whenever you're ready, I might be ready when I'm 16. So what does that mean for me and even my people? Because there's people who are high school sweethearts. Why do you think they're called high school sweethearts? Because they were in high school when they started dating. Yeah. So I guess maybe 18, when you can project into the future and see maybe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you'd be willing to get married to this person.
So I want to assumption that you have dated guys at some point. Okay, it's a correct assumption. Then not to just say that maybe there's someone over here.
Wow.
So how long have you been in a relationship? The longest you have been? Either or anyone?
For me, it was about 8 months, 9 months. Up.
Hey.
It gets to an year by the way. Your figurative is very interesting.
Okay.
That's the longest time I've ever been in a relationship.
Yeah.
Currently not seeing anybody, and I think I'm happy that way.
Oh.
Yes.
For now, I'm a forever.
For now,
Okay.
I can say for now I'm happy that way.
Okay.
Yes.
John?
I think the longest was 4 years and I
Wow.
was 18. And yes, I was in it for marriage. Like my grandma knew him.
No.
But I think at that age, you're not even aware of what marriage really is. You just know you'll get married and all these things. And so as you grow up, you're like, I don't think we'll get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hope?
As for me, it's been 5 years,
5
9 months.
years.
5 years and 9 months.
It's 9 months.
It was almost 12 years. What?
Where? Okay.
Let's
And
see.
are you,
That's it.
you're still in it?
Yes, yes. I am.
Oh, okay, good stuff.
Well, for me, it's the same. I've been my relationship currently has been the longest one. About 2 years, going on 3 years. Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
A healthy amount of time.
I know,
Not
yeah.
that high school period.
Not
5
high
years.
school.
Not that 8
Not
months
too
period.
little, too much.
Hey.
okay. So let me ask: does dating equate to being in a relationship, or being in a relationship is different from dating?
I think it's the way you will define it in your own regard. There's some people who will say we are dating but you're not exclusive. So people will be, you'll date and then you'll date somebody else, date this other person, but you're not saying that that is a person I'm in a relationship with per se. That's why again you look around until now you settle on that one particular person, then can say, okay, I'm in a relationship with this particular person. So it depends on the person, how you define it.
How the both of you define it.
How the
Because
both of
Not
you
one
define it,
person.
not one
your
party.
definition
Exactly.
might be you're
Different.
dating and
Exactly.
you're seeing many other people, but for
Exactly.
me it's dating you alone.
Exactly.
So how do you ensure that you're in the right place?
You DTR.
What is DTR?
DTR is define the relationship.
Okay. So
Yeah,
for
it's
someone like Steve,
Like
let's say.
Steve.
let's use him as an example
eight
for
months.
that.
Right ones. But defining a relationship, then how do you define? Like we sit down and we bring our pros and cons on the table and say, this is what I want, this is what you want. Then you find a way to infuse that together.
What?
Do all chicks
Because-
do that though? I don't think all ladies do that.
Yeah, because also
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good for us to be the one pushing for, please
ask
tell
the
me
person.
where we are.
Oh, now let me refer to something. Last
Yeah.
week's show, guys were saying that you need to, even like for them, they also want chicks who see ati wanangoja to the man to do everything. So do you think, ladies, since we are the ones who feel like we want to ensure that this relationship is clear and not a situationship, is there something wrong with asking the guy?
There's nothing wrong. Me, in my opinion, I think you should ask. Because at the end of the day, not ask them out. Ask what? Ask them out? No.
But defining.
Defining the relationship, here's my opinion, yeah. I think ambiguity kills a lot of relationships more than even cheating and all that, whereby you've not defined this is what I want and this is where I'm going to. So you'll find that a lot of ladies will complain, this guy is not making any moves here and there. But for some guys, I feel it's not even an aspect of necessarily getting ready. It's more or less that you've not required him necessarily to do anything. You understand? You've not brought out, I guess for some people it should be obvious, you might think it's obvious, but we think very differently. Rest assured, you and I think very differently. We can be looking at the exact same thing, but you're looking at different glasses. So it's important to speak out. If you can't speak out when you're dating, how will you be able to communicate further down the line?
I mean, I agree,
Yeah.
but Jerry, do you think dudes are ready to be asked? I don't think if
Let's
a
ask
guy is
Steve.
not
If
ready,
let's say we are
if a guy is
dating
not ready to
to commit,
answer that question,
He will beat around the bush,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, he will know what's the point that he needs to drive home. Whether you're asking his short-term goals or his long-term goals, guys are very smart at playing around with ladies' minds. So we'll know how to answer that question in another way, but at the end of the day, we have communicated. So I like what he says, and I
but
second
is
that.
it important? Do you think it's important
Yes,
to
it's
define?
very
It's important to define the kind of a relationship that you want to,
Yeah.
because you might be coming into another relationship whereby you are hurt by your previous partner. So therefore now you need to determine the extent that we go to,
Yeah.
the do's and the don'ts. So yeah, it's very important.
And I
It's
like
key.
the point that you brought about maybe being hurt from a previous relationship. How can you build trust? Let's say you're from this relationship and it had issues, and then now you're in a new relationship. How can you build, or how can people rebuild that trust? Let's start with Hope.
Well, I read somewhere, and it was a meme. This person was saying that the hardest part about being in a new relationship is learning how to fart quietly again. So, and I laughed because
Whoa,
now,
okay,
like, it's just relearning this person. Previously you were in a relationship with someone who maybe you thought that it would end up in marriage, but due to one reason or another, it did not. So you're just having to relearn again.
Yeah.
It's like you give you give the person full benefit of doubt, and then now they start jitteering. They start building their CV for you.
Yeah.
So you now start learning to fart quietly, and then now one day,
I like your
Abdul.
analogy. I like your analogy. Yes.
But Jerry, I feel like that's a wrong way to go about things. Because why am
Really?
I bringing previous baggage from my previous relationship into my new relationship?
No,
Like,
no, it's
do-
not really previous baggage. It's just you're a new person. It's a new friendship. You can imagine even, this doesn't even just apply in relationships, even for friendships. Maybe you had a best friend, tight best friend, and now maybe you parted ways because of one thing or another. Then now you're building another friendship. So you have to learn this person again. You're not just carrying your baggage. It's not really carrying. It's just treading softly, I would say.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, because you'll find that let's say for a lady, they say sometimes ladies don't forget. They say ladies don't forget. So you'll find that now those memories, or like the baggage that is carried from a previous broken relationship, being brought to a new relationship, this guy may be a good guy, but he's not a perfect person. So when you see hints of whatever hurt you in the previous relationship, like let's say for example, the other person maybe cheated, then you broke up, then you come to a new relationship and this person maybe chats, maybe he's a social person, and just chats to the lady, be like, "Nimbana, kununafanya hivi," all that, and the guy is wondering what's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just baggage at the end of the day. So I agree with what you said. I think it's important to take your time. Take time between, if you had a very bad hurt, you understand, especially when things get into your heart. You know, when something gets into your heart, it takes some time to get it out. So take some time to heal, let it all go, and then proceed.
I think it's not even just about the heart.
Yeah.
In being in that relationship, we mostly lose ourselves. You know, you
Yeah.
become Nani's girlfriend or
It's
Nani's
true.
boyfriend. Also take some time to find yourself.
Yeah.
You know, find what are you about now, so that even when the next person is coming, you're a bit more stable in terms of your own identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to jump onto that point that you
Yeah.
said. How can people be meaning Jerry, but I have someone? You get, instead
Yeah.
of meaning as in I am not even existing, the someone has literally taken over my life. How can people, because especially for ladies, I don't know for guys if that really works, but for ladies, how can you advise someone to ensure that they're not getting lost in the relationship? Or even for guys?
Well, Miles Monroe called it being single, because a lot of people say that this is my better half. But you know, when you say a half and a half, you can't be a half person and another half person come together to make one. A single person is one complete person, another complete person coming together to become now one relationship. So I believe it's very important to be single first. Know yourself. One time I was advised, before I get into another relationship, take yourself out to coffee, date yourself first. Take yourself out to coffee, know yourself better. That way, even when you're dating, you can check yourself against somebody else. You know that this is who I am. Can this personality match up with this other personality? It will save you a whole lot of trouble rather than date 2 years, 3 years, then realize, this is not really working.
True.
Exactly.
I like what you guys are sharing, because sometimes I remember when I was dating, it was
Many
for
years
TBT.
ago. Yes.
Forever
Not so many, but it was for let's say I want to do something, or let's say Jojo asks me, Jerry, what are you doing on Saturday? I'll be like, let me first confirm
Yeah,
if we have
plans.
plans, and then if it's him, he'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and make plans, and then he'll just tell me nenda hivi, you know,
Yeah.
so it's for also us as ladies to ensure that you're not sucked into the world of just being with this person forever, and that you forget yourself. So so what should people really look for when they're dating or in a relationship?
That's deep.
That's a
It's deep.
Extremely
difficult
profound.
question.
Let me do this then.
Yeah.
Let's take a break as you think about the question.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. You can join in the conversation on our SMS line 22316 or WhatsApp number 0786316316. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Kuwa Tofauti. Tonight we are talking about dating and relationship manenos. And just before the break, I had asked the question, what do you look for in a relationship, or if you're dating? What do you look for? Either as an individual, in your dating life. Let's start with this side. Before the break, we had Pastor Miles Monroe Jr.
Being a
So we'll start with this side, then we can come this way. So Steve?
What I will look for in dating, first, I'll analyze the character. 2, whether she compliments me, as she
What do you mean?
says. Whether she brings out the best in me,
Okay.
whether she supports my ambitions and my dreams, and whether she falls in place in my life. You might meet somebody in life who is a total stranger, and you're 5 years into the relationship. You don't exactly know this person. You don't know how they behave under slow Wi-Fi or what they do when they are angry.
Yeah.
Such things I need to analyze you completely so that I know what I'm getting myself into. So yes, analyzing the character and the complementary part of it is very key for me. So that's what I would look for when dating.
Good stuff.
Advice from my mother: find a man who fears the Lord.
Hallelujah.
And fearing is not knowing. There are men who know the Lord,
But
but
they
they
don't
don't
fear.
necessarily fear him.
Yeah.
And why this is because there are things he won't do, not because it's you, it's because he knows God won't be very happy with
Yeah.
me doing this
Yeah.
thing. That, and I also feel like this potential thing, find a man who has a job. Because
Hey.
a man needs to provide. It's one of the roles that was
Wow.
I
given.
have a question.
You also have a
Well,
question on that.
J-O-B.
No.
Okay,
So
let's
what
hear
happens
from
if
Hope.
I'm in university, I'm like second year, and this guy is maybe even in the same class? Of course, we don't have a job, but we are working towards
that.
getting a job. Is that enough? Why do I need to date a working class? Is it that this one is a working class, or how?
Oh no, that doesn't apply for students. If you're a student, you're going to date a student. In fact, if you're a student dating a working class man, there's usually a problem, even a gap in terms of how you're thinking. But I was talking in terms of
Like after
after campus.
But what happens? Because maybe we've been in the same class, or even maybe he's even older by a year, but then I got a job first and he didn't.
But he will need to find one eventually.
Let me jump in
Eventually,
on that.
then,
let's
okay.
keep jumping as
Eventually.
a
Let me
game.
jump in that
Yeah.
and say something very short.
Yeah.
Don't judge a man by what he puts on the table. Judge a man by the effort he puts in putting something on the table.
Hey.
So he might not have a job, but he's trying to fend for your family. So that's a whole different ballgame.
And I think that's where we are not getting each other. Job
Yeah.
does not mean I'm hired somewhere earning a salary XYZ. It means there's something he wakes up daily to put effort to.
Even if it is going for interviews.
That's a job. Yeah,
Whether it
that's
has
the
money
job
or
he's
not.
currently- his current job is looking for a job.
Job.
You get?
Sawa.
But what I'm just saying
Like
is there
mtu
are
si mtu
men-
ana chill tu home.
Yeah, there are men
Okay.
who just chill, you know.
Yeah,
I've been
that I
sending
know.
CVs and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Okay.
And so that's the definition of job. Job is not a copy PWC.
So then I think you
Yeah.
should say a man with an ambition.
With a vision. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
a man should always have a defining goal that is ahead of him, because whatever you place before you is something that you'll continuously move towards. So somebody can have no money and somebody can have money, but the difference is you need to have a vision, because you can have all the money in the world, but you may never get to the next goal, because you can, even if you have all the money in the world, there's still a better place to be there. And it helps even eventually when you decide to get a family. Where are you taking your family to that time? That's what I
Okay.
think.
Thank you. I guess this discussion will continue after Joanne is just like, no.
No,
Okay.
no. I agree. I think the thing I'm trying to say is there's a man with a vision, and so there are two men with visions, right? So there's a man who's working towards his vision. That's the man to be with, because you're not finding him, I have a dream, the one day. No, he's already doing something
About
towards
his dream.
getting to the vision.
Yeah.
And that's what job is in this sense. Yeah.
Okay, let's change gears and talk about social media. Nowadays, people have the pressure of, you want to post
Facebook
things.
official.
You want to show guys on social media. What do you think about that? Is it too much? Is there too much in your view? What's your take?
I agree with you that there's so much pressure for couples splashing their life online. But not everybody online is your friend. No, this is a personal view. Not everyone online is your friend or would wish the best for you as a couple. So it's okay if you post a picture, maybe on your wedding or on your anniversary or some time where you have an event, karurashi or something like that. But mkienda kulala tunajua, mkienda kuoga tunajua, and you leave the office we know. At some point it feels like you are raising your baby with our bundles, and it's unfair because we know everything about your love life. But it gets funny because when you two break up, because the same photos are munatoa, but this era of screenshots, we have them anyway. So at some point you're like, yeah, it's era of screenshots, by the way. Yeah. So some point you'll be like, what happened to this kagal? You know what? We need to know because we invested our likes, our thumbs over there, those photos. So there should be a limit as to which we need to post our photos. Especially I have a very strong perception on posting pictures of babies online. Kids, mtoto amezaliwa leo, already tushamuona pale KNH or wherever you have delivered. It's unfair.
Yeah.
So the relationship, let's keep it between me and you. We can take photos for our own wallpapers or WhatsApp, but it ends there.
Yeah.
Online,
but what happens if this is a yani hii ni ile photo people need to see? Even if it's not the Rura show or
like you're dating,
but you're dating
in a relationship.
Is there a threshold? In other words, is there like a certain place to get to, like, no, this is too much?
You need to do milestones.
Only milestones. You can't
Like
say I went for lunch today.
1 year dating.
1 year dating.
At
but
Rura
if you went for lunch and you're happy.
Yeah, I guess the question is where is the limit? Because there are people who overpost, and then there are those who don't post. So no one knows that Steve is dating.
And I think that's the thing. I think it's the intention behind the posting or not post. There are people who won't post, and it's not because they don't. It's because they're like, hey, let me keep this one a secret. I'm not sure it's going so far.
Exactly.
And there are guys who are, they're in it 100. So they're like, I'll post about my meals. I might as well post about the girl I'm seeing. So I think it's about the intention behind. So sometimes it's healthy just for it's accountability. Like we'll ask you, hey Steve, what happened to that kachik? Yeah, you'll have to answer. or I see Uko walking around looking funny with another girl. I'll be like, but Steve, you have a girlfriend. So there's a sense of accountability. It's just finding the balance so that you're not also doing it because
for the
gram or for bonfire adventures.
And maybe on the same, if I can jump in quick fast. She says about accountability, but that's from the side of the couple. So we need to think about the other side of the user, people who see these photos and what they do with these photos. So that's another side we need to really dive into that. Cyberbullying is very real. And again, we've seen people who take photos of other people and put them in other, use them in other malicious ways. So that's another discussion that we need to see this from.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about long distance dating or relationships.
No.
God.
Joanne.
She looks disgusted. She needs
let's hear from Joanne and then Hope.
There's something to tell us.
I don't know, it's a perception thing. I've always perceived it as difficult. Maybe also because I'm a quality time person. So I'm like, so how are we supposed to have quality time when you're far away and FaceTime is not enough. Quality, and then there are hours or you're in a different, I'm sleeping, you're waking up. It becomes very hard. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Hope? I'll answer this because I was in a long distance relationship for 5 years. And
this is a different one.
No, that's the same one.
Okay.
No, I was wondering. You finished one and then you got
No. This same one, the current one I'm in. And our time difference was 8 hours and sometimes 7, depending on daylight saving things. If you say it is difficult, it's terribly difficult. It's like the worst difficulty ever because quality time is not there. At least it's not this way. It's not guaranteed that I'll go to Java and I'll see him and he'll see me and we'll catch up. We have to intentionally set aside time where at least even if for 2 hours, it's daytime for both of us. Because then my work day used to end and or even my school day and his is just starting. So if you're not careful, we'll pass each other for even a week or even 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I think it's possible. It just depends on who you are and who he is.
But did you meet like online or did you meet physically?
We met physically and we were friends for a while before he went. So we had that basis for we knew each other.
Okay.
We could fart aloud. But anyway. So we already had a basis.
Like a foundation.
From which we were relating from. Because I know that he's a night person, and this I knew for the time that we were friends. So now when we started dating, I'm like, okay, so I can hit you up in the night, and that would not be a problem. Also just commitment. Because you're doing this very, very difficult thing where people are asking you, so how are you doing? How are you guys going on? And you're just there like, my goodness, I have not spoken to him since last week, Sijui Sunday, but I'm just here smiling and waving.
I know.
So it is difficult. You just have to remember communication, Sijui commitment, just the basic things now on level times 100.
So anyway, in conclusion, part in short, anything you'd like to say in terms of relationship, any pointers you have? We'll start with Steve. Come in like this.
Okay, mine should be very brief that marriage is not a destiny. The destiny in marriage is finding happiness. So that trickles down to the entire relationship. If you're not happy, then don't get married. So go into marriage because you are happy and you need to be fulfilled. At the end of the day, what matters is that you sleep on that pillow a happy person. That's all I can say.
Okay. Joanne?
I think mine would be no pressure whatsoever. People who are married wish they were single, people who are single wish they were married, people with kids wish they didn't have kids. So it's always a shifting place. It's a cycle. So no pressure, take time, find yourself, find someone who's perfect for you when you know what perfection is for you. And then just take things slowly. Slowly. Steve, you're I know. I think it's time to wrap up. Let's wrap up.
Okay.
But no pressure. Absolutely no pressure.
Okay.
I echo her sentiments and say no pressure, take it in stride, because some people are dating 5 years, some people are dating 5 months, and you're building marriages that will last. And also, it's a misleading thing where you think that you'll find happiness in someone. If anything, I can imagine married people imagine that once you marry someone, you'll be happy, you'll be free. Then you marry this person and you're wondering, what? Is this a mistake? Just at the end of the day, you're making each other a better follower of Christ. And your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend should be the greatest witness of your salvation work. Because then they see you forgiving, they see you joyful, they see you being kind, they see you emulating Christ in all that you do. Therefore, they're a greatest witness. So it's a challenge to yourself, not to find someone. That's my party shot.
I agree with that. I think, like I said earlier, it's important to be single. Define your goals, define yourself, most especially. I believe any relationship is colorful, dependent on how colorful the individual is in that relationship. So don't expect somebody to come and complete you per se. Don't come. They expect somebody to come and complete. Don't expect somebody to come and complete you per se. Be single, be whole, and then have fun at the end of the day. Godly fun.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks, guys, for coming. We hope you've learned something, a tip here and there. And these guys have alluded a lot to marriage. So next week, we'll be hanging out with young married people. You don't want to miss that episode. Because sometimes people imagine, sijui marriage inakuanga aje. But now we'll have married people telling us what it is for real. So thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
If you have any views, feedback, comments, you can do so on our SMS line 22316 or WhatsApp number 0786316316. Till next week, keep watching Family TV for more of great content. Have a blessed night. Let's talk all things marriage. How does a young person know they're actually ready for it? Is it as difficult as it has been portrayed to be? Well, on the next episode of Kuwa Tofauti, I will be hanging out with young couples sharing their marriage experiences. So don't miss out on this engaging conversation only on Family TV.